All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're back here tonight with another Pittsburgh Steelers video. Training camp week 1 is officially finished for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and there is a lot of hype on both sides of the ball. We're going to talk about how the Pittsburgh Steelers can reach that next level offensively, and it simply comes down to yards after catch. So George Pickens is apparently just feasting. Apparently he looks poised for a breakout sophomore campaign. He had a really good rookie year, 52 catches, 801 yards. But the important statistic is he averaged 15.4 yards per reception. We also implement, hopefully, Calvin Austin III into this. And the reason I mention it is because last season, they finished 4th fewest yards after catch in the entire National Football League. Deontay Johnson, great receiver, not necessarily a yards after catch guy. Allen Robinson, great 50-50 wide receiver, not necessarily a yards after catch. Pat Freiermuth, great tight end, underrated tight end, not really a yards after catch guy. So that's where we implement George Pickens and, honestly, Calvin Austin III, because George Pickens said today, or it might have been yesterday, we want to take more shots this year. We want to mix it up a little bit. Well, Kenny Pickett and the Pittsburgh Steelers actually came in 3rd in big time throw percentage, and the Steelers actually tied for 11th in intended air yards per target. Like I said, they came in just 4th fewest yards after catch in the league. So that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. But before we do, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Steelers fans, literally blessing every video I post. You guys got my video yesterday to 1,000 likes. I don't even know what to ask for today. Just thank you for watching, right? Hit the like button, hit that sub button for more Steelers and NFL content. But guys, the hype coming out of Steelers camp is money. And one thing I'm really excited about is Kenny Pickett. All right, because Kenny Pickett this year is getting the first team reps as he should have last season. He's going to be the starter from day 1, from week 1. And you guys know by now, my thought is if he started last season for the Steelers, they would have definitely made the playoffs. But it's important to just get those reps in training camp because, keep in mind, it's still the sloppy part of the offseason. Because it's the offseason. Preseason's going to be a little sloppy. Training camp's going to be a little sloppy. But what we're hearing from Allen Robinson, Kenny Pickett, George Pickens, we're hearing from Patrick Peterson, we're hearing from Pittsburgh coaches, the media, we're hearing that things are running smoothly. And it's just really important to kind of use that momentum, right? They won 4 games to finish off last season. They finished 9-8 after a 2-6 start. There's nothing not to be excited about, right? Morale should be booming as it is. So that's just something you really love to see because, when you get thrown in there as a rookie quarterback in week 4, well, it's just, I don't have the same chemistry with Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, my offensive line, my offense in general, because I wasn't getting all the first team reps in preseason. So that's going to go a long way. But we did see the immediate chemistry and the immediate connection with George Pickens and Kenny Pickett last season. George Pickens, everything that's coming out of his mouth so far this week in training camp, just, I'm sure, has Steelers fans ecstatic. This guy seems, he's so humble. He knows he's really good, but he's humble and he's going to put in the work and he's going to let his gameplay show for himself, or speak for himself, rather. So he said he feels like his route tree will evolve a lot. Last year, George Pickens, a lot of deep balls, a lot of 50-50 balls, which is great. But the wide open middle of the field is going to be there this upcoming season. And we're hearing that he is being moved around the offense, running in motion, lining up on different sides. That's what you want. You want versatility because last year, even though Kenny Pickett threw a lot of deep balls, the Steelers threw a lot of deep balls, there wasn't much separation. So that's where guys like George Pickens and Calvin Austin III, who had the 3rd fastest 40-yard dash in last year's combine, fortunately didn't play the regular season. George Pickens, for example, I think was 16th in fastest 40 yards for wide receivers. So there's some speed on the Steelers team. Their offensive threats it's a very deep offense. Even new addition Darnell Washington, we heard George Pickens the other day say he's the best tight end in the NFL. He has not played a snap in the NFL. It's terrifying. They're teammates, they're good friends. Darnell Washington, if you just look at him, you're like, he's going to be really good. But for a guy of his physicality, of his size, of his stature, the ability to catch the ball, it's honestly pretty, you don't see that very often. I mean, he's a huge guy, does not really run like your typical tight end because the dude is an actual tank. It's like a defensive end playing tight end, right? The dude's a stud. So that's going to be a big red zone target for Kenny Pickett. But obviously, you still have Pat Freiermuth, so you have like this beautiful two-headed monster at tight end, like you do at the running back position with Jaylen Warren and obviously Najee Harris. But I think George Pickens' sophomore campaign breakout year, I think it's on its way. I really loved the revamped offensive line. We've talked about it. Broderick Jones, Isaac Siamalu, right? We've talked about all these guys coming to the offensive line, and it's going to make a massive difference. And I want to see Matt, and I'm anticipating because of what we've heard already in just the couple of days the Steelers have been in training camp. I want to see play actions, right? I want to see creativity, essentially. Things that are going to, just the small things that are going to throw the defense off, which is basically like what George Pickens is trying to add to his bag. So, altogether, we look at the Steelers offense and, clearly things come down to Kenny Pickett, and we're going to see, 1 month from now, we're going to see him in preseason. You're already going to see the strides he took from his rookie year in general, but especially to start the rookie season. I'm loving it. All right, I absolutely am loving it. And we've talked about the defense mainly in yesterday's video. So I'm really hopeful for Calvin Austin III. Apparently he didn't have like the best opening training camp day. Don't buy into too much in training camp. That just, I feel like that goes without saying. Hype, doom and gloom, try and keep an even head. I know it sounds kind of not hypocritical, but like, because I'm making these Steelers videos. I'm really excited about the Steelers, but at the same time, I want to keep my expectations in check and in line. But it's really, really hard to not get super excited about this. But guys like Calvin Austin III, this year is basically his rookie season. So you want to keep that in mind because it's not going to be perfect. But as long as he's healthy, as long as he's getting these reps with Kenny Pickett and in this offense, you're going to be able to use him as a big-time playmaker and is a huge speedster threat, which is something that Matt Canada should be licking his chops at. Obviously, Matt Canada, this is a boomer bust season. In fact, it might not even last the whole year if it goes really poorly. But there's so many threats on the offense that even if Matt Canada isn't the best or the most creative offensive coordinator, well, we look at last season and they still won 9 games. You're still really well coached with Mike Tomlin, and you still have a great defense, especially with a healthy TJ Watt and all of these new guys, especially at the linebacker position and the defensive back position, coming on in, veterans and rookies, guys like Joey Porter. That defense is going to be top 10. And so if Matt Canada can unlock and just become versatile with this creative bunch of offensive players that he has, well, we could be looking at a 12 or 13 win season for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So kind of a little bit of a training camp recap, mainly focused on the offense. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's video. Be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button if you want more Steelers content. We'll see you guys next week. And yeah, have a great weekend. Peace.